Yo, what's going on guys? It is Toxicity and welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet video. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing what disappointed me most about the Paldean region, but if you guys are super excited for the new DLC coming later this year, then smash the like button down below. Let's aim for 10 likes on this video, that would help me out so much, but without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. So Pokemon Scarlet and Violet introduced us to 107 new Pokemon with Generation 9. Now that might seem like a lot of Pokemon, and for me that was a good amount, but there are a lot of Pokemon that probably should have got Paldean forms. Now to put this into perspective, we got 19 Galarian forms and only 2 Paldean forms. I know we also got Paradox Pokemon, but for me, they're just not everyday Pokemon that you'd see around the regions. You have to go to a specific area to find them. So I am most disappointed at the fact that we didn't get many Paldean forms in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and there was definitely opportunity to do that. The 2 Pokemon that got Paldean forms were Tauros and Wooper. Now, Tauros did get 2 other forms, but Wooper just had that one form change and then had a separate evolution, which was a brand new Pokemon. So if you put that into perspective, compared to the 19 Galarian forms that we got, I really believe there was a missed opportunity for Pokemon that had been around since Generation 1 to maybe get a little bit of an update, maybe get a type change, or just get an overall design change. Now, Pokemon that immediately come to mind are like Psyduck and Magikarp potentially, just Pokemon that have been around since Generation 1 that you can find super early in this game. Even Drowsy can be thrown in there. You can find Drowsy pretty much immediately as soon as you're able to explore the first areas of the game, and these Pokemon could have got potentially a bit of a boost with a different type or maybe just a different form, and Paldean forms are really cool. I really enjoy Tauros and Wooper's Paldean forms, but some other Pokemon definitely could have got a bit of a refresher by getting a Paldean form. Out of the 19 Pokemon that were introduced as Galarian forms, 13 of those Pokemon were available in the launch versions of the game, and the remaining 6 were introduced through updates and downloadable content. So with the upcoming DLC, I'm hoping we potentially get a few more Paldean forms coming up, but I believe they're only going to be Paradox Pokemon as we dive deeper into the story of Area Zero. Now, for me, that is a little bit of a disappointing feature because the Paldean forms were really pushed as a new type of Pokemon when we first saw the trailers for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and I feel like there should have been a little bit more of a presence for Paldean forms because we are in the Paldean region. It's a massive region. This Paldean area is huge, and we did get 107 new Pokemon, which is crazy to think, but I just still believe that we should have got a couple of extra Paldean forms, and here are just a couple. I know I mentioned 3 earlier, but here are just a couple of other Pokemon I believe should have had some form changes. One Pokemon that was around at the beginning of the game was Houndour, and we also saw Houndour pretty early in the story. Now, if these Pokemon got a Paldean form, we could have had them maybe potentially become a water type or maybe a psychic type, but to have them featured so heavily in the early part of the story and not have them have any sort of Paldean form was a massive missed opportunity. I would have loved to see Houndour get a little bit of an extra typing, maybe an extra buff with a new form, and just be potentially a Pokemon that more people would have used throughout their playthroughs. Yungoos and Gumshoos is also on my list. I believe these Pokemon have a lot of potential. You could have made them maybe ground type or just spiced them up a little bit to make them a little bit better. I would have even given Vivillon a bit of an extra form for the Paldean region. I tried to look online and I don't believe you can get a Paldean form for Vivillon or a Paldean pattern, and I think that was a missed opportunity as well. There are a lot of Pokemon that definitely deserve a bit of a buff or just a bit of a look change, just because the Paldean region does have Paldean forms, and to only have 2 or 3 with the 2 different Tauros types is just something that's just still sits in my mouth as a bad taste. You could have had so many new Paldean forms to go along with the 107 new Pokemon, and this game would have been a lot more enjoyable, and you would have found so much more fun in exploring what these new Pokemon are capable of and how their forms differ from the rest. Don't get me wrong with this, I was really happy we got 107 new Pokemon introduced in Generation 9, and the Paldean forms were cool. I just wish we got a couple more. The Paradox Pokemon do make up for that, but like I said, I don't believe they count as Paldean forms. They're from the past and the future, and they come through the time machine in the story, so I believe they're not standalone Paldean forms. But if you guys agree, let me know down below. What Pokemon would you have liked to see get a new form in Generation 9, and what Pokemon are you still hopeful will get a little bit of an update in the future? Let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.